Hey there, Rappy. This is Rapper9198 here, and hello to everybody on Facebook and Instagram. I wanted to do another just update video just to say thank you guys for your support there. As I've said before, I know there's been a lot of times, it's just been a lot of back, forth, up and down feelings there as far as, for me mentally and emotionally. But ever since I made that video where I really poured my heart out there, it really seemed to help me. Like, I've really felt a soothing release, the best I could describe it. And it's just when I really express the way that I'm thinking and the way that I'm feeling in regards to mainly just my performance at work. As you know, those are people who I'm around and they're around me every day. You guys can know me better like that. And it's kind of hard to be able to tell, because I want to be able to tell everybody that. It'd be nice to just be able to stand in front of everybody and, give a speech about all of it. But it's really hard to find the right time to do that. And so I'm very thankful that I have this as a means to do it. And I appreciate all of you who do listen. And this is something I wanted to share this as well, because I don't know, just when I did that video, I kind of gave me a little bit. I'm not guaranteeing anything, but I was like, it would be pretty cool if I possibly wrote a book. I'm not saying I am, and I'm not, again, it's not a guarantee or anything, but I think it'd be pretty cool because I feel like I could be a great inspiration to other people with autism. Because I'm very proud, and I'm glad I'm being so open about it. And what's important is that I'm being myself. That's what's the most important thing. And but yeah, anyways, I was kind of getting started on that a little bit. I was just kind of putting some stuff down just in case if I ever got the idea. Depend on how I'm feeling, because right now I was like, ooh, it feels really, really fascinating. I'm really into it. And then there might be days where I don't exactly feel that way, but it's here, it's on the radar. So, but here I thought I'd read kind of what I do have. So I think this would be a good prologue, I think. So I would start with, so this is how I think this would be a good prologue. I think it would be good if it started like this. A kid is a kid. A person is a person. You get the picture. People are people no matter what. People with a disability or a disorder are people just as much as people without one. The severity of the disability or disorder doesn't make a difference either. Take me, for example. I have a disorder known as autism, or autism spectrum disorder, or ASD. It is a developmental disorder which mainly consists of lack of social skills, repetitive behaviors, and other symptoms that can affect how people learn, behave, and function. Because of this, people with ACD have difficulties in developing relationships with people. He or she may not know how to initiate a conversation. He or she may not know how to keep a conversation going, etc. ASD also makes people feel very self-conscious. These symptoms definitely have and still do, they definitely apply to me. I become concerned about my body language and I do what I can to try to appease that. I'll cross my arms, or I'll just kind of hold my, or like, I'll be like this or something. I'll cross my arms and twiddle my thumbs. Something of that sort. But it only helps so much. It may not feel awkward to the other person or people I'm interacting with, but it does to me. That usually happens when I'm standing up. Sitting down is something totally different. When you're sitting and talking to people, you don't have to worry, at least not so much, parenthetically, about body language. At least not as much. Along with that, I also get concerned about my physical outward appearance, as it is the first thing people see. I keep my hair cut short and my face always cleanly shaved, as that usually helps boost my confidence. To me, I feel having longer hair and a beard on my face would give me a horrible image, and I would be perceived as disheveled, crazy, and stupid. I know, I'm not trying to be hard on myself, so I mean, I don't want you guys to, I'm not trying to play with people's emotions or anything, but it's just, I'm just really trying to open myself up, and it just helps, it'll help me be able to feel more comfortable around people, knowing that I'm sane. I don't know. I want to look presentable and therefore help make a better first impression. It's not just my looks and my appearance, but also it's my voice. Again, this is stuff I've mentioned on video before. There have been times where I hate the sound of my own voice and I feel like something I'll say will be perceived as stupid. I have given input on stuff in the past, and people have responded and said stuff that made me feel dumb. It's not like they did it intentionally, but it was how I personally would take it, and then I'd feel regret for having said it. No matter what, I feel like I have to make a good first impression, because I've always felt the first impression you make on someone will determine how that someone looks and thinks of you from that point forward. I learned the hard way, but I have, however, learned that that's not true. There have been people in my life, especially my parents, who have told me that they have had friends that did not make a good first impression on them, and that my parents probably, and vice versa. I have learned that it's also not fair to be judged based on first impressions or first glance at someone. It takes one to know one. It takes getting to know one another to really have a friendship or relationship truly develop. I myself have friends today that, to be brutally honest, did not make a good first impression on me at first. It took some time, but I became good friends with them and still am today. Even today, I'm good friends with them and I love them dearly. So that's still a work in progress, but that's kind of what I've got there. And there's also other things like basically just saying my whole life story. But I know, and I these were like words that I typed there. Like those are my words there. Here, and then just like, I like this part, just like any other average kid, I grew up in an average middle-class house with a loving family, played outside in the yard with friends in the neighborhood, and had fun inside, mainly watching a lot of TV. Of course, as a small child growing up in the mid to late 2000s, I had the impression that the world was a simple place, not knowing that when I got older, I'd find out that the world is much more complex than that. And then I'm like, but let's go back to the beginning, shall we? But yeah, I have more stuff here, but I mean, I could probably get into that another time. But when I get more, maybe when I get more put on here, if I get more info. But yeah, I just really love putting it on. I just have it on a Google Doc there, but I just really love putting that on there. Like, that really feels like a true cleansing of myself. And I love how confident I feel here, even just speaking right now on video. Reading that, it's like I know what I'm saying and I know how to say it. That's what I love, and that's the kind of, that's who I'm wanting to be, and be in front of you guys in person. It's just, I don't know why, just for me it can be hard sometimes, because again, I'm a little worried about my body language. Like, I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm like 5'11", so almost 6 feet, and but also, I also do want to say that, there's a lot of times where I think another thing that's bothering me a little bit at work is that I feel like I'm not doing enough, because I don't know, I feel like my coworkers are doing a lot more than I am. And I'm not, I'm talking in general terms when I say this. All just in general terms. So I mean, not to, so for men, and for all men that I know, love and respect to all of you. But there's a lot of men in the world in general. We've heard stories about husbands abusing their wives, boyfriends, abusing girlfriends. I just feel like men have developed such a bad image or reputation. And sometimes I'll hear women talk badly about men, and then I take it personally because I feel like I'm included in that. But I don't consider myself, abusive or cruel, or I don't know. I know nobody who knows me would think that at all. I'm not trying to be hard on myself, but I want to be an inspiration too, to, don't be afraid to speak your mind in some ways. But at the same time, you need to think a little bit before you say things, because I know I've met people who have had a no filter attitude, where it's whatever goes in here comes out here. I know, another thing I mentioned, but that's why, as I mentioned before, that words are very powerful, and not just the words themselves, but the emotion behind those words. So I'm like just really trying to be careful in how I say this stuff, because that can have a everlasting impact on somebody. So that's why, I know we have free speech, but that's part of the First Amendment, but with freedom, we also have to respect. I think we have to respect it too, and we don't want to completely take advantage of that. Doesn't mean you can just call somebody something, or it's okay to speak your mind, but you want to do it also in a respectful way, or at least try to do it in the most respectful way you can, is my suggestion. Because you want to still be able to do it and not possibly feel any guilt afterwards, because that's happened to me too. It's like where I'll feel guilt and regret for having said something, feeling like I may have hurt somebody's feelings, but I was, just speaking my mind and, giving my input, because I've been told, because, I think my voice matters. I'm trying to use my voice in a positive way. It feels good to talk. I feel like the more I can use my voice, the more I'll learn to like it more. So I'm not, and also again, I really thank you guys all so much for the comments you've left, how you guys, saying that I do matter. And, I'm not, I know, I know, I feel bad that I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm asking you guys to, give me praise or something, but, I was just speaking my mind on things, and I just felt I really had to get it out. And this is a way I feel comfortable speaking about it publicly on here. And I do it along with journaling. And I want to keep encouraging anybody who is dealing with the stressful thing. If you don't want to do it publicly, if you don't want to do it on a video, journal about it. Because also, and I like having the sense of community. I feel like there is a sense of community on here too. Yeah, so I just know, I appreciate all of you guys. And again, everything you guys do matters, and all of you matter too. We're all here for a reason, and we all have a purpose in life, and God has a plan for all of us. And that's something I definitely need to remember too. And I do take that to heart. And I do think part of it lies here. So yeah, it feels so good. It feels so good. But yeah. So I think I'll wrap it up there for this video here. Thank you guys again for listening. Again, hope everyone listens to this. HELTT is what because I've thought about maybe possibly doing like a podcast or something too, or like a video series, which is why I did that whole little acronym thing. But and that's what I would call it. Hope everyone listens to this, because I know, listen to it when you have time, because I know a lot of people don't have a lot of time in their schedules to watch a 20 or 30-minute thing. But for those of you who do, thank you, and I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate even those who don't. I just do what I can on my part. I'm just wanting to spread positivity. Positivity, inspiration, encouragement, all words of that sort. And I just hope that is greatly appreciated, which I'm sure it is. I know those of you who know me do. But I hope those of you who don't know me as well, appreciate it as well. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Love you all to death. God bless.